Well, hey guys, welcome back to our cookie business. Oh, let me see if the lighting is good. Hey guys, how are you? Welcome back to Summer Sweet Shop. I am Summer. I'm so excited that you are here because today we are talking about cookie business mistakes to avoid. I know we've all made lots of mistakes. We start out as these cookie business owners, and most of us have not owned a business or we don't know much about running our own business. And so I'm here to talk to you today about mistakes that you can avoid, ones that I have made that hopefully you can learn from, or other people that I am close to that have made that we can learn from and move forward. So I have to tell you about this time that I was baking cookies. I volunteered to make cookies for our PTA fundraiser. And I was like, I am just gonna make some great chocolate chip cookies, and this is gonna be awesome. I had my recipe, I had gotten my apron, I had my cookie sheets ready. I had everything ready to go, and I was so excited. And I thought, like, oh, this will be easier than doing like some hand decorated cookies. Like, this will be great to do some chocolate chip cookies. Who doesn't love chocolate chip cookies? These will be great for this fundraiser that our PTO was putting on. And I whipped up these cookies, and you got to take a taste of the dough and all of that before you pop them in the oven. And I was like, I tasted them and I was like, this doesn't taste right. There's something going on here. And come to find out, long story short, I had forgotten to put salt. I had used unsalted butter, and I totally forgotten to put salt in these cookies. And they were not good. I had to throw out the entire batch of cookies, and I was so frustrated and so devastated. And, I was disappointed. I was frustrated. And at that moment, I was like, man, even when you think that you have it all together and you have all of your things in a row, you still have to know what you're doing. Like, you still have to have that confidence to know what you are doing. Well, running a cookie business is like very similar to baking, which is convenient comparison there. But when you're running when you have a bakery, you have got to have your tools. You've got to have your recipes. You've got to have your ingredients. You got to have it all together. But the thing is, like, if you make a wrong move, things can start to go south very quickly. If you don't have your ingredients, if you don't have the right tools that you need for your baking, things can kind of go not so well for you. And the same could be said for a cookie business if you don't have all of your ducks in a row. So many people jump into starting a cookie business without a plan. A lot of times, cookiers start selling cookies because their friends asked them to buy their cookies, or someone asked them, they have been making cookies, they've been giving away cookies as gifts, and someone approaches them and wants to buy cookies from them, which is great. But what happens is you start taking on these orders, and that cookier starts to feel overwhelmed. They then start to feel frustrated, and then they start to feel almost burned out because they have taken on too much. And they think that, like, well, I'll just bake some cookies and people will buy them. You know, that phrase from the movie Field of Dreams, like, if you build it, they will come. And you think that, and while things might be going well, all of the bad things start to hit the fan, and orders maybe don't come in. And that saying in that movie, it made that movie very famous. But you know what? Unfortunately, it's not true. It's not true that, like, if you build it, they will come. And so Pricing a lot of times feels impossible. You kind of can struggle with that and knowing like, okay, what do I price my cookies at? Is this really reaching my market? And then if you're like me, my kitchen looks like a tornado mixed with like sugar and flour and butter. It looks like a tornado 24/7. Does that sound about right? Right? Can anybody else relate to that? What's worse is when things start falling apart. So most people assume that they're just good enough and they kind of just like quit before they even get themselves and give themselves a real chance. But I want to tell you, the problem is not you. I promise you, it's not you. The problem is no one really taught you how to run a cookie business like a business. If you want it to be a business and you want it to function as a business, you have to treat it like a business. And when you don't have a system, you're going to waste time, you're going to waste energy, and you're definitely going to waste money. And ultimately, you're going to burn out. And that is definitely a recipe for disaster. So I don't want that to happen to you. And I want you to know that when you build a good system, you can have a cookie business that is thriving, that works, that not only keeps you sustained, but helps you to build and grow. So we've got to treat our cookie business like a real business. And this means getting clear on your goals. What are you learning the basics of running a business? How are you learning that? Are we avoiding the most common mistakes by derailing so many bakers, right? When you have the right strategies in place, you can make money doing what you love without losing your sanity or your whole weekend, right? So how do you do that? Like, how do you set up your cookie business for success while avoiding all of these pitfalls, all of these things that could go wrong, that so many cookiers, so many bakers fall into? Well, today I'm going to share with you 3 steps to help you build your cookie business that works. To share these steps with you that are going to help you avoid those pitfalls and give you greater success with your cookie business. Number 1 is price your cookies correctly. This is something I see over and over again, especially with new cookiers who come in, and a lot of times they undercharge their cookies because they feel bad asking people for what they feel like they are worth, or they sell themselves short and they don't think that they are good enough. But y'all, if you don't price your cookies correctly, you are going to burn out and you're going to make 0 profit. By starting out at $1 or $2 a cookie, it's not going to serve you well. You're not going to be able to raise your prices and you're going to get resentful for doing those cookies. If you've ever been decorating a cookie and you're like, I did not charge enough, I did not charge enough, I did not charge enough. I think every cookier I know can relate to that because I've done it over and over again, where you're decorating this cookie that is super detailed, that's got all these extras in it, and you're like, I did not charge enough. Why was I only charging $4 for this cookie when really I should be charging $5 for this cookie? Because this took me a long time. It was a lot of work. So I want you to price your cookies correctly, and how you're gonna do that is you're gonna start off by calculating your cost. Make sure that you are putting in your ingredient cost. You're gonna put your time, write down your time that you are spending on those cookies, and then I want you to calculate any overhead expenses that you have. Then, once you do those 3, you're gonna set a price that reflects that value of your time and your skills. Okay, so remember, you're not just selling cookies. You are selling art. You're selling this thing that you have worked really, really hard on, that it's going to bring joy to this person that you are giving them to or selling them to. Okay, number 2 is set boundaries early. So here's the truth. If you don't set boundaries, your cookie business will start to run your life instead of you running the cookie business. So you have to decide up front when you're going to take orders. How many orders are you going to take? How many can you handle? When you want your kitchen to be closed. And that means you're not responding to emails. You're not like that. You have certain hours. You set your hours of when you are responding to inquiries, when you are responding to questions, when you are having pickups for or deliveries for your cookies. You decide that. But it's super, super important as you are a beginner baker, or if you've been doing this for a few years and you're like, what I'm doing isn't working, then you got to say, I've got to set these boundaries first and foremost. It's so, so important, because if you don't, you are going to get run over. So you've got to communicate these boundaries clearly to your customers. When you say no to something, guess what? That's saying yes to something else, and it's saying yes to maybe your family. Maybe it's saying yes to being on the PTO and helping up at your kid's school. Maybe it's saying yes to just having a social life that you're like, I don't want to be just tied to cookies all the time. And that's great, but make sure you communicate that clearly. Stick with those throughout the year so that you don't have any regrets and you can have a good business. Okay, and number 3 is you're gonna market like a pro. You don't have to be a social media expert, but you have to tell people about your cookies. They don't know to buy them if you don't tell them that they're for sale. So you gotta use your Instagram to show off your designs. You're gonna be posting your behind the scenes clips. I love those to just show like, here's a behind the curtain of what really goes on in my home-based bakery. And then show off your decorating process. Share a story about why you came up with this new recipe, or these cookies that you are decorating for a special event, a special occasion. Share that with your customers and use that in your marketing, your email marketing, your social media marketing. Talk about it, share a story. People want to buy from those that they feel connected to. That's going to be so, so important in your business, is going to be connecting with your audience and finding out about them. What are their wants? But they want to find out about you. This behind the scenes. What is it like really to be in Summer's kitchen when she's on a baking day? And then don't forget to ask for reviews. Your word of mouth is going to be pure gold in this business. It's going to snowball. It's going to help you keep moving forward. So don't discredit that. Word of mouth is going to be so, so vital. So make sure that you are using that with your marketing as well. So I want to tell you about Emily. Emily was in our Next Level Cookie Club, which is my monthly membership where I teach you how to build, grow, and scale your cookie business. And Emily started her cookie business as a side hustle. She had a full-time job and she had gone to a cookie class, and she was like, this is really fun. I would love to do more of this. And then she had people that started asking her to buy her cookies. And so she first started off with just holiday orders and was doing them at Christmas time. She was doing them at Easter, Valentine's Day, all of that. And then she started taking on some custom orders, and she thought this will be fun, do birthdays and showers and weddings and things like that. And before she knew it, just like that snowball, she started drowning in orders. And she just was stressed out about pricing her cookies all the time. And she would look at her competition for her pricing guidance, and she still felt confused and overwhelmed. And she was feeling like she just couldn't figure it out. She was like, maybe this just isn't right for me. Like, I just can't figure this out. And after learning these steps that we talk about in Next Level Cookie Club, after learning these steps about pricing correctly, about setting boundaries, about marketing her cookies, her business really started to change because she started implementing these things that we were talking about. And slowly but surely, she started to gain confidence with her pricing. She gained confidence with her decorating. She was then able to make more money because she was pricing correctly. And then guess what? She had time to really enjoy the work that she loved. She loved it and she wanted to keep doing it. And she was able to do that by putting in her boundaries, pricing her cookies correctly, and then marketing her cookies really well. And you know what she told me? Like last week we were talking and she said, Summer, I'm actually enjoying making cookies again. And that just made me so happy because I want you guys to enjoy your cookies. I want you to not feel burned out and not feel frustrated or overwhelmed. I want you to feel like you are running your business, not your business is running you. So you got to take control of that, and you've got to really, really get a handle on that. So that's the power of running your business with purpose, right? When you avoid those common mistakes and you treat your cookie business like it's a real business, not just this little business that you have on the side, but that it's a real business, it's going to perform like a real business. It's not only going to bring in income, but it's going to bring you joy as well. So if you've been sitting on the sidelines of your cookie business and you're just kind of winging it, and you're just like, well, we'll just like throw this together, I think this will work. Or maybe you're already in it and you've been selling cookies for a while and you feel stuck and you feel overwhelmed and you feel frustrated and you're like, I don't know how to get out of this cycle. I want to give you hope with this episode today. I want it to give you some clarity. I want it to give you some confidence that these are some easy steps that you can take right away that are going to help you to get unstuck for the new year, for the new you, and that you're going to be able to do this. You've got this. You have the confidence to do this, and you have now the tools that you can use to start to make your way to a better life with your business. So go make your cookies. I want you to share your cookies with the world. And remember, guys, the best is yet to come. It's going to get better. It's going to be awesome. And I'm so excited for you. So thanks so much for joining me today. I hope that this was helpful, and I hope to inspire you and help build your confidence as a cookie business owner. So thanks so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.